Hey everybody, and welcome back. I was really impressed at the amount of people that responded to the videos, so thank you very much. Figured I'd give you guys another one, pretty simple one, working with linear patterns for this one. And with it, you will get a free cribbage board pattern download. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this one I'm actually going to do a little bit differently, and I'm literally just going to design this on the fly, let you guys kind of watch my process. So for me, I'm going to choose my plane just like we always do. Chose the top one. Simpler that way for me. Hit sketch and again select the actual plane. I don't know how many of you guys play cribbage and whatnot, but typically there's a set of holes for your pegs before you even start the game. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in and work with constraints because I like them a lot. And the constraint that I chose was equal. And what that's going to do is going to make these dimensions equal to each other. So all of these holes are the same exact dimension. Now, if you hadn't noticed, I didn't actually put in a dimension, so let's do that now. I like 1/8. No particular reason why. If I find that that doesn't work, then I will adjust it later. And then as for spacing, probably 1/4 inch. Same here. And again, this could be a pattern as well. I just wanted to make it a little bit simple in the beginning as we kind of ramp up. Now, typically, you're going to have 2 pegs per player, so you're going to have 4 holes, but I'm going to add another one in here, and I'll show you why. And this is going to actually be a very, very quick design. You're going to have 2 steps down here. We're going to go back to equal. And if you're in a constraint, FYI, and you're saying something is equal, you'll notice that you have this little equal sign next to the arrow. To get out of that, just hit the escape key. And same thing with the dimension. I hit this at 1/4 inch. And you can see there's still that little dimension tool next to the arrow. Escape gets you out of that. Now these are still blue, which means that they are not fixed, as you can see. So Control Z will remove all those, or undo those movements. I'm going to click every single one of these dots. So in order to click them all, or center points, I'm going to hold down the Control key as I click through them. And that will select all of them. And then I'm just going to hit horizontal vertical relationship. That will actually kind of self-regulates. So if you're more vertical, it'll make them vertical. If you're more horizontal, it'll make them horizontal. Now, escape. So with that, I'm actually going to select all those. And I'm going to go over to create rectangular pattern. Now, you see this menu pops up. Looks a little bit heavy if you're not used to using Fusion or using these menus. But what I like to do in the very beginning is just kind of, I click this arrow and I move it around. And it gives you a better view of what you're actually doing. But what this is going to say is you're going to take all these and you're going to repeat it in a pattern along this axis and along that axis. The other thing you can do is you're going to look in here. You can actually choose the directions if you have a sketch somewhere. We're going to bypass that one for right now. You can do this either by spacing or extent. So if you want your total distance to be 10 inches, you would say you're going to do an extension of 10 inches. But for this one, let's see what direction this one is. That is the horizontal direction. And I don't mind a 1-inch space. Now you can see there's 3 instances. I'm going to do 5. And because I want to be centered on the middle, I'm actually going to say that I want this symmetric. Now I'm also going to bring this one back down to 1, and I'll show you why in a second. Hopefully this all makes sense. But for anybody who's ever played cribbage, it basically comes in these little square blocks of 5 holes. So this will be how it was always described to me is up the outside, down the middle. So it's a 2-player board. But for now, I'm going to hit OK on that. Now I'm going to select all these, hit Control, hit Shift. There we go, hit Shift. And that will select the other ones. Now I didn't select these because these are the pieces, these are the holes that will just hold your peg in the beginning of the game. So these are the ones that I want to pattern. Do the same thing, rectangular pattern. And like I said, I like to move this mostly just because you can start to see which one of these you're working with if you don't know which direction you're moving in. So you can see that dimension change right there. This time I'm going to leave it in one direction. I'm going to keep it with spacing. However, how many do we need? We need 6 of these. So here we go. You can just type that in. I just was being lazy. I don't, however, like how far apart they are. So what if we did 0.5? Not a fan. 0.75. That I can work with. So now you have your hole pattern. Now if you hold Shift and the scroll wheel on your mouse, if you're on Windows, sorry Mac users, haven't gotten that far, you can zoom around and kind of see what you got going on here. And then, just because we're working with relationships in here, my counselor will be thrilled. We're going to hit this tangent line. All right, so this, I'm going to make this upper line tangent to that circle. I'm not going to click out of it, and I'm not going to hit escape. I'm going to make that line tangent as well. Make this line tangent to this. And all the way down at the bottom, I'm going to make this line tangent. And it doesn't matter what circle you choose, it's going to be tangent to all of them. And then from there, now I'm going to hit escape. This tool is an offset entities tool. So what it'll do is it'll take your square and it'll expand it. So I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it 1 inch. This will flip it from one side to another. I want it 1 inch on the outside, but this will give you equal spacing all the way around your holes. So I'm going to hit OK. And now I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to hit extrude and hit this square, and I'm going to hit that one because we only want 4 holes in the center to hold your pieces. Alright, now because we're targeting more of a laser community, sorry for everybody else, but I hope you can still get something out of this. I'm going to make this just 1/4 inch piece of wood. So I'll make it 1/4 inch, hit enter, and just like that, boom, you have a cribbage board pattern. I also like to add in an appearance, mostly because I work with mostly wood, so come down here and I will just click and drag just like that. We have a wooden cribbage board, and you guys can work on the spacing, peg size from there, but at least you know how to make it. Hope you guys have fun.